Green salad down, last done start, gotta tell the ground.
Okay, so hi Moby.
Hi.
We are excited to do some math with you today.
That makes two of us. Two of you.
Two of you. We're working on some probability.
Oh, so here's a simple math equation.
Okay.
What percentage of the people in this conversation are excited for me to do math?
100%, 3 out of 3.
Yes.
66.6%.
It would be 66.6666. So you'd round that to 0.7.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so here we go. In a recent study, 600 individuals had their LDL cholesterol levels measured, resulting in each subject having high, normal, or low LDL cholesterol levels. The subjects were asked then to categorize themselves as either vegan, vegetarian, or neither. The data is listed below. Determine the following probabilities.
Hey, is LDL cholesterol the bad one, I'm assuming?
I mean, it stands for low density lipid as opposed to high density lipid.
Wow, Moby. I didn't know that.
Ooh, fancy.
At least I think that's what it stands for. And I think it's counterintuitive where like you'd think the low density lipid would be the good one, but I don't remember.
Okay, so let's give this a go. Probability that someone's a vegetarian in this whole sample.
Okay, so the probability that someone is vegetarian, so let's remember that probability, going back to the basics, is always part divided by whole. So in this case, wow.
Calm down.
Okay. In this case, the whole, or the denominator, is everybody in this study. And how many people is that?
600.
600. And so the part is how many people are vegetarian. So when we look at this table, the number of vegetarians is going to be represented. So we would need to add up all
215.
215?
215.
Right. So the probability that somebody is vegetarian would be 215 out of 600. And if we make that into a decimal, that would be about 0.35833. So we have about a 36-ish percentage.
For part B, this is asking us what's the probability that someone has normal cholesterol given that they're a vegetarian. So remember that this notation in here means the word given. It's a conditional probability. So it's shrinking who we're looking at. Instead of looking at everyone in the sample, it's saying on the condition that the person's a vegetarian. So we're only looking at the vegetarians. So let's first look at that. Where are the vegetarians? We looked at that on the previous part. And remind me how many total vegetarians there were?
215.
Great. Mm-hmm. So I like to think of this first as, okay, since probability is the part you're interested in out of the total in your circumstance, the total in our circumstance has shrunk because instead of 600, we're now only looking at how many people?
215.
Right. So out of 215 people, we want to know what's the probability that they have normal cholesterol. So folks with normal cholesterol are down here down the center. And out of the purple humans in there, there are 100 that have normal cholesterol. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that would reduce to what?
I mean, my guess is like 47%.
Very good, about 46.5.
Cool, 46.5%. Nice. I'm really kind of into your mental math, Moby.
Yeah, you're really good.
Yeah. The probability that someone is vegan,
given that they have high cholesterol.
So how many total people have high cholesterol?
Right, that's really the number that we want to focus on. So we're looking for the denominator is going to be these numbers added together here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is that? Moby, use your sweet mental math skills.
I mean, I think it's 109, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
109. Okay, so our denominator here is going to be 109, and then we're looking for the probability that somebody's vegan in this category.
Right.
So what would be the numerator, Moby?
My assumption is 21.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So a lot of people will put 296 there because that's how many vegans are in the sample. But that's how many vegans are in the sample total. We're only looking out of those with high cholesterol. There's only 21 vegans that have high cholesterol. So notice that we've shrunk our sample space.
Yep.
Cool. So
Cool.
nice. Remember, a probability has to be between 0 and 100%. So like in decimal form between 0 and 1. So a lot of the time people will switch what should be on top and what should be on bottom. And a nice red flag is if your answer comes out to be bigger than 1 in decimal form, that's a red flag that maybe you've got them switched or something went wrong, right? Yeah. Cool. So I think the moral of the story is to be vegan.
The number of vegetarians is going to be represented right here. So we would need to add those.
But for the sake of, if you're recording this for your students, maybe making a little note of what the difference between vegan and vegetarian is.
Yeah, let's discuss.
Oh, okay, so a vegan is someone who does not eat any animal products whatsoever. Do you guys want to add on to that? Because you're a little bit better than me.
And a vegetarian is someone who does not eat meat, but most likely eats dairy, eggs and dairy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, are eggs and dairy, I always wonder, are eggs part of dairy? So this, like, we'll say like eggs and dairy are separate things. So a vegetarian is someone who does not eat flesh, but eats eggs and dairy.
Right. I was vegetarian for 15 years. And I still I ate like some dairy and stuff. And I guess once in a while eggs was in something. But as a vegan, I'm even mindful about other things too. Like I don't eat any animal products, but I also don't buy them or like things that have been tested on animals. So just basically trying to like do the least amount of harm and like being like a really good person. Bye, Moby.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Talk to you later. Bye.
This is good.